Okay, so Trish, tell me who you are. So tell me who you are, and I know that's a loaded question, but tell me who you are and what do you do right now?
I love that right now.
Yes.
So I am a combat veteran. I'm a mama of three. I'm an Army wife. I'm a homeschool mama. And right now I help women streamline their days so that they can make their dreams happen. Because we get busy and we have a lot going on and we have this product we want to put out in the world, or we have this extra money we want to make, or we have a community we want to build and we just kind of think it's impossible. And so I help them get from point A to point B, and it is so much fun. I am also really branching out into post-trauma awareness and speaking out quite a bit about that.
Awesome. Yes, you are. And I think that's the part that probably roped me in to say, wow, girl, I think I've told you this a few times. You are vulnerable in that. And I love that because I know that takes so much bravery. Yeah. So, in all of that, because I'm a purpose and calling coach. And so I know sometimes we can put ourselves out there and say, this is what we do, but in purpose, it flows out of who we are. And so, and then what we do flows out of who we are. And so tell me your sense right now of how would you define what your kind of overall purpose in life would be? If you just had to say anything.
I am here to help women, work with women, and I'm also connecting with men too, probably because of my combat experience. I'm helping them to discover hope is just the big thing.
So many powerful things can happen when you have hope. Because if you don't even know what the point of trying is. That's amazing.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah. People with hope are magical.
Yeah. Great word. So how did you get to where you are now in that sense of confidence in what your purpose is? How did you get to that point? What were some of those big experiences along the way that led to that?
Oh, it was by accident, honestly. And there actually was a whole thing behind it, but I had to go back and look at what that process was. And so for those that are looking for purpose, I act for hope that are looking for hope. I tell them the big thing for me was actually saying yes. Was the game changer at any point in the process. The last 3 to 5 years was saying yes. I have PTSD, and so that just became my identifier. Mm-hmm. Especially with the percentage of my disability. I just thought, oh, okay, I'm broken. I'll just never be the wife I had always wanted to be, or the mother that I keep trying to be. And for friendships, forget it. I'm just super awkward and weird, and I can't handle them. And so I just figured I'd always be broken. And I just kind of gave up because I had worked at it and tried. And I started to say yes. My family was like, could you please just go get some help? We knew who you were before, and we know that person's still in there. And then so I did, and that helped a little bit. And then I went and got a civilian job when I was asked to apply. They're like, could you please just apply for this job? We need you. And I was like, sure. And then I accidentally got into business, and I went through business training, which helped retrain my brain. And then I found live video, and I thought, well, yes, let me do this. And it was a lot of yeses, and it's super scary. There's nothing easy about it.
Because when you said yes, did you have a picture of where that road was heading?
Absolutely not.
Just an open door. So sure, why not?
It was. I knew I needed some life to be different than what it was. I didn't want to stay there. Mm-hmm. I wasn't finding joy, and I was just like a shell of who I really knew I was supposed to be. And so I just had to change something. And it could be as simple as going to lunch with a friend when you really just don't feel like it.
Did you make a decision, I'm just going to say yes to things, beforehand that pushed you to say yes? Or did you look back and just see that that's what you did?
I looked back, it's both. There's this cool book that's all about say yes. And I've heard about people who are on these journeys of saying yes for a year. And I'd like to say that I was that forward thinking, but really my family just was nagging me. And I really love my family. I am very fortunate. I have great people in my world, and they were just nagging me and annoying me. So I was just like, fine, yes, I'll do it. And so I went and I did it. And then my husband's a very strong man, he just like lays it straight. He's like, so he would just say, why are you acting this way? Like, and I don't know. Why am I acting this way? And so there were just some key points too along the journey where he could kind of like call me out, because he knew me before I went overseas. And so again, he knew that light and that spark, and it had been gone for so many years that he would just I think he just kind of got fed up. And so he lovingly was like, could we do something different? And instead of being defensive, well, I mean, I was a little bit, but I listened and I was like, okay, I know he has my best interest at heart. So maybe I should change things. But never did I think going on live video would open up me talking about some of the worst times in my life so far, and being able to help people through that, not just word vomiting, but actually being able to help them. It's very unexpected.
Right. And you were just looking to rescue yourself right now, basically. at that point, you weren't thinking you could actually be of help for someone else.
Oh, definitely not. And it took a mentor. That was another big yes. I have a mentor that I absolutely love and adore. And she spoke some strong truth into me. And and again, it was choosing to say yes, to listen. And she said, you have a very powerful gift here. And I laughed at her and I said, you're insane. Could you just knock it off? Can we just get back to figuring out my next freebie or promotion? And she's like, could we talk about this trauma? And I was like, no. So so listening to people, allowing those you trust to speak into your life has just been huge.
Lately in the group, I've been talking about the ups and downs of what I call a made for more journey, where you realize like, okay, I've just been doing the daily grind, and I think there's something more to where I'm at right now. More that I have to offer, more meaning to life, more to what I built for myself and thought I could have. And so it's these ups and downs where you have this lookout and you're kind of at this peak of things are good. There's meaning when you see this, like, oh, this could be good. And it's just a moment, but you catch this glimpse of what you think might be able to happen with your life. And then life happens and it doesn't quite turn out the way you expected. And you have these valleys and then these plateaus where it's like you're just rolling away and trying to make sense, like life is just the same old, or I don't see any way out of it. How does this tie to this like mountaintop? And all of us want this big mountaintop success story that we hear everybody cap their entire success in life in like 5 minutes, and they say do this, and we're all kind of maybe trying to do our version of that. And yet our life story is all these up and downs that are leading up to this, and these moments are tying. It's the moments that happen along the way that start making sense later on, that turn into gifts, that they turn into stepping stones for what is meant to make sense later on, right? And it all converges into what you've learned, what you've experienced, the trauma, the healing, all of that turns into a gift. So can you, if you think back to say in your early 20s or when you graduated, do you have some of those like lookout experiences where you just caught a glimpse of, you know, hey, I'm going to do this because I think this is what I was meant for, or this is what I'm about?
Gosh, yes. And then it like all went sideways. I'm certainly not living the life I thought I was going to live. And when in my early 20s, I was a young officer in the military, and, you know, and 10 years ago, you know, we all know what the military was involved in. And so no matter what country you're a part of, it was very focused. And so I knew exactly where I'd be and what I'd be doing, and I was going to go off. And then I came home so broken and different.
Yeah.
And then I got out and I was like, okay, I don't know what this will be like. And in the last couple of years, I've had some, and so I've been on this journey for 7 to 9 years.
Mhm.
And so the past couple of years, I've had, okay, this is what I could do to help people. This is how I'll help. And then I need to go change a bunch of diapers, and I need to go do the laundry and dishes. And why are my husband and I fighting? We love each other. And so the peaks and valleys, and when you talk about that, yes, and all that, I feel like it's just a constant part of the journey.
Yeah. What were some of the, looking back now, because when you're in it, it feels like that's the sum of your entire life. Whether it's at that mountaintop, even if it's for a day, you feel like, this could sum up my entire life. But then you hit the valley and you're like this low, and all you know are emotions, and everything feels closed in. And you're like, this is the sum of my entire life. And I need to plateau, right? So looking back now in 9 years, what are the gifts that you do see now that are merging into what is making your that calling, your purpose right now more powerful, more influential?
Oh, sure. So, let's see, I've been on this journey, the whole journey, for 12 to 15 years.
Mhm.
And the friendships I made in the military are powerful now, because I never thought I'd go back and do anything with the military. It was such a traumatic experience that I just thought I couldn't even be around people because it would trigger things.
Mm-hmm.
And now being able to help people is beyond anything I could ever think of. And so having 5 to 10 friends that staying connected with, that's a gift, has been such a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And they just don't judge you. They get it. They understand. So having those people from the past is huge. And recently, it has been the people that I've allowed to speak into my life.
Mm-hmm.
For example, my husband and I, when we got married, he was 33 and I was 27, and he was a confirmed bachelor of 15 years. So there was no stress in that at all, getting married. I mean, we had no idea what I'm sarcastic, because we had no idea what we're doing getting married. And so it was very difficult for us to figure out what that looked like. And I had some people just speak into my life about, well, this is how you can be loving and kind. Like the book, The Love Dare, just talks about don't say anything negative. And apparently being grumpy is being selfish. I had no idea. I'd been grumpy for 5 years since we'd had our first baby. And I was like, that's selfish? Oh my gosh. And I'm a really nice person. And so I think having people that get you and not giving up, because I feel like there was a desert period where nobody understood me. I didn't know how to make friends at mommy groups. I didn't know how to make friends at business groups. I'm a homeschool mom, business owner, Army wife in the Midwest. Like, I'm just an odd duck. And not giving up on myself has been a gift, and allowing people to speak in who've been there and done that. I'm someone who likes to look at my elders, and that has been a gift, because there's so much wisdom in books, and there's wisdom in groups and community, even as uncomfortable as it can be, has been such a gift to get me through those valleys. Because those valleys, I feel like, I could be wrong, but I feel like the valleys and the climbing up the mountain are much more of our life than that peak.
Yep, exactly. And that is what I realized as the more I talked about it, and it's been my heart, it gets woven into so many of my coaching sessions, and just realizing my own craving to say, I just want people to be real. Cut the competition, the insecurity. And I spent most of my life insecure. And I'm like, I'm so tired of that. I just want to be me and not really care if you're judging me, because this is me. And if I don't get it right, I spent so much of my life trying to be perfect, and it was all tied together. And I'm like, what the heck is perfection? That's not even what you feel is connected anyway. It's like this picture perfect gallery to look at. But what you want what your soul craves is that authenticity to know, oh, I'm not the only one. Oh, that's you too, huh? I get you. Like those moments where you realize success isn't about the mountaintop. It's just about who you are and what you discover and what you live out to the utmost of the awareness you have in that moment along the way, in the valleys, in the wilderness, the desert, and then turning it into gifts to offer hope and inspire other people.
Yeah, I think this has popped into my head again, so I have to share it because it's come up in my head a couple times. It seems so simple, but whenever I feel like, oh gosh, am I really doing this again? Like, am I putting myself out there again? Because it's very difficult. It takes a lot out of me, and I'm learning techniques to bounce back better and to be stronger. And I think, okay, one person, if one person was impacted, for me, it's always worth it. And you're not a bad person if that's not true. If it is true, just go back to that. And I keep screenshots when I get kind words. And if people say, I screenshot that bad boy because I need that. I have an I love me folder, or that's what we called it in the military, but it could be just a I helped someone folder, just where people have sent me cards, and I need that validation to get me through the really low points. Because I feel like when you really put yourself out there and you're going after big, audacious things, which could be saying, again, going out to a coffee date, it can just take a lot out of you. And I sometimes need that pick me up. I don't have to pull it out often, but man, on those bad days, it's nice to know it's there and that I've helped people, because you may never know.
I love that, because you get to own your own path of encouragement to build you up, instead of, because I remember years or seasons where I was in a low, or I was just in a funk. And so I'm waiting for someone else to validate me. I'm waiting for someone across my path at the perfect time to say, oh, I just need somebody to, like, yeah, tell me how valuable I am. Tell me that what I'm doing is worth it. Tell me that you see me. And, I guess maturity or more awareness, realizing collecting those notes, and I think mine are all over the place over the years, but collecting those notes to say, wait a minute, if I'm feeling low, I don't have to wait. Like, that makes me in a helpless, almost a victim perspective. If I'm going to be the victor in this, if I'm going to own this and move forward, I can just pull out the folder and realize, oh yeah, what they said then, that's still true for me now. Actually, like, fast track digging myself up, filling myself up, and being able to do that. I love that you do that as well. Awesome. So what would be the one thing that you could say to someone who needs hope? They've got a dream in their heart. They're working their butt off to make it happen, and things just aren't quite, they don't understand. Something's missing. They're chasing after something. They're like, is this, I know it's worth it. I can't let it go, but where's the hope? What's one thing you could say to give them hope today?
Oh, wow. One thing. Can I say two things?
Sure.
Because I'm always strategic. I'm an implement junkie. So the first thing, just from my heart to yours, is if you're passionate about it and it's on your mind and on your heart, it's not by an accident. We are not just random. We are very, very purposefully made, and all of our journeys are unique. I had no idea that I could talk to people that had different traumas than me and help and connect. I actually very much said no way. I was not going to work with no. I've had a very specific trauma experience, and that is all. And now I just said that behind closed doors with my mother. And as I've shared, people that have very different trauma experiences, they don't expect me to fix their thing. They just are like, thank you. Thank you for just making this okay. And I go back to my mom. Oh, so I get it. Let me just humble myself right now. But I want to share with you, like, that doesn't make any sense to me. It still doesn't. It's beyond, it just humbles me in a way that I can't even put into words. And but my experience being a woman and going into an extreme situation and different things, it connects with them because my journey is very different.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shocks people. They just don't expect it from me.
Mm-hmm.
And so whatever purpose is on your heart and what you're wanting to share and what you're wanting to put out there, maybe everyone else is doing it. We're all getting excited about Thanksgiving, but your table is going to be so different than anyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
And in America, we're getting excited about Thanksgiving. But any holiday, like think about any holiday, everyone is doing it, but your table is different. So with what you're wanting to put out in the world, the way you've brought about it, the message you're going to put around it, the timing will be so unique. And so I want to encourage you in that because I get you. I'm with you. I completely understand. The other piece that's strategic is that sounds really good and it's true. Get support and get strategic support. I have broken it down. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it says you're the equivalent of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Mm-hmm. And so I've actually gone to a whole new extreme, and because I need to be really careful about who I put myself around. And mine is I'm now the product of the 15 people I put myself around. And I have 5 people that are like, billionaires, and I'm learning from them. And then I have 5 people that are further ahead. Now they may be like way further ahead or just, a couple laps ahead of me. Yeah. And I have those 5 people, but they get the values is there. I'm in their community. I'm part of their world. I'm on their email list. I'm active in their Facebook group. I'm on their Instagram. I am learning from them and getting their energy. And then I have 5 peers who get me and understand me, and I can pick up the phone at the drop of a hat. And those are my 15 humans. And I am connecting. I'm making sure, if not on a monthly basis, I am in the learning from them, touching base with them, connecting with them, because those valleys and the walk up the mountain, honestly, just sometimes a tumble down the mountain, don't do it alone. Yeah. So, sorry, that was a long-winded answer, but I just wanted to, there's kind of an epiphany that,
beautiful.
Epiphany that came to me a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh, why didn't I think about this before? It's not just 5 people. And you
actually charted it out and actually named the people and where you hang out. I love that. That is awesome. I've done that roughly in my head a few seasons in my life. Not the same formula, but it felt very weird to actually like chart all my relationships around there, but I secretly did it. It's not really a secret anymore, but
oops, I put it out there. Sorry.
But it's true. It actually helped me set boundaries. It helped me be proactive in realizing where the gaps were. I need input friends. I need to just be me friends. I need the mentors who are steps ahead. I need the big dreamers to say, oh, this, because I'm like a template person. So I need something to like embody and model, oh, that's what I want for my life. And then I'll morph it along the way. So yeah, I love that you strategize that. Thank you, Trish, so much for sharing your heart and hanging out with me. And you guys, if you are here or watching the replay, I want you to put a 1 if you know your thing and you got hope from this conversation. If 2, you still have no idea and you're going to go out and get support. You're going to reach out to someone today. Put one of those numbers in. I hope you're going to, and reaching out can just be messaging someone, texting someone, saying, hey, can we chat? It can be actually just saying how you're feeling instead of pretending you have it all together. That is sometimes a huge big step for people. Whatever is that safe but still scary step for you, put a 2 if you're going to take that one today. And let us know that you're here. So even if you have nothing to say, you guys, you just say, hey, you said it all, because that is me a lot of the times. I don't have anything to say. You guys just said it better than I do. Then just say, hey, wave or something in the comments. We'd love to know you were watching. And Trish, if people want to know more about who you are, what you have to offer, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Trish Russell. You can just send me a note. I do Wednesday wake-up calls, and I talk about all this stuff. I also have a business page, Unlock Your Intelligence, and I'm also on Instagram. And I just love connecting with women and helping them to discover hope. And yeah, so would love to connect with you.
Thank you so much, Trish. I love it. Now I'll just figure out how to get out of here. Here, I'm going to stop streaming. If we are streaming.